she done. She took off the ring and left for y'all, and she walked out. I said, well, don't take your mad tail over there mess with Andre and Danny. I said, they finally making progress. I said, don't take your mad tail over there. But hey, y'all, hold up. Hey, y'all, welcome back to another review. Life Chances for Beyond the Gates, November 5th, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. What y'all think? Y'all like the episode? Look, there you go, they're crying and stuff, begging her. Look, his eyes just reek of desperation. Like, dude, all y'all knew this. All y'all knew exactly what y'all was getting into. Danny knew she wanted Bill. She was very vocal, very honest about that. Andre knew he wanted Ashley. Ashley knew she wanted Andre. Derek knew that Ashley wanted Andre. Now he want to sit there and cry. I said, cry, because Shanice kept telling you, tell the truth. But you want to lie. You want to lie. And that came back to bite you. But she knew doggone well. I mean, he was wrong for lying, obviously. But at the same time, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. You know doggone well you want Andre. But okay, we're going to talk about that. Welcome back to another review of Life Chest for, did I say this already? This for Beyond the Gates, November 5th, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. I think I did do the introduction already, y'all. I wasn't supposed to do it yet. But okay, so we're going to start with Danny and Andre. Danny was trying to explain to Andre why she went over to Bill's, about the Winter Fest and stuff like that, about how he going to be the MC. And they were just having a conversation about that. He started to open up about his parents. Now, at first, he started to talk about some ex that he was involved with and how he wasn't able to commit. Danny was asking, was it because, his parents died and stuff like that? So he started to open up about them passing away, how it affected him and all this other stuff. And what else? By the end of that conversation, he ends up agreeing that he wants to do a photo shoot. He wants to donate the funds to charity to honor his dad, and that's when Danny ends up talking to him about starting a foundation and just allowing that money to be, dedicated on his dad's behalf and stuff. So I said they finally making progress, y'all. But I feel like she gonna go back to Bill, and he still want Ashley. I don't know, y'all. We'll see. But yeah, I said, dog, just when they making progress, I don't really like them together like that because I know what it's going to lead to. I know both of them. She won't Bill, he won't Ashley. We talked about this several times. But at the same time, I like this. I like that they getting closer. I like that they opening up to each other and stuff like that. I like their dynamic in a sense. I said it. Hold on. I like it in a sense, but Ashley finna take her little mad tail. She reach out to Andre or either go over there or something like that. I said, stop, Derek. This is your fault. This is your fault, Derek. You had to lie. But yeah, Nicole was talking to the chef about the menu for the Winterfest and stuff like that. She was saying how her husband is allergic to, I think she said shellfish or something like that. And she started to say she means her children's father and stuff like that. And Laura was like, she's shocked that she's having him come to the doggone Winterfest. And he came up, he was like, him too. So they were just having a nice little conversation about that. And how it was last year. He was like, he grateful and he'll be there. So she ends up telling him to let her know if he gonna bring a +1. After he left, that's when Laura and her started to talk about whether or not he was gonna bring Leslie, and she was bothered by the fact that he could be dating again. And she was saying something about, it makes her a hypocrite because she didn't want Ted in her business. Now, so I thought they said that her and Carlton was supposed to be dating. They ain't dating yet. She cut things off, but maybe this Winterfest is what's going to, reunite them. We'll see. But yeah, Ted's still trying, and Leslie is too. Leslie thinks that this is her opportunity to convince Ted to move in with her. I said, what's wrong with her? I don't see how Eva just able to sit there and let her mom be foolish. I mean, she do be trying to talk some sense to her. But it's like, lady, give it a rest. Give it a rest. But yeah, what else? Let's see. I think, we talked about Nicole. Ashley was talking to Shanice. She was like, she's wondering why Derek is in such a rush. And for a second, I thought that Shanice was about to tell the truth. I said, HIPAA, girl, HIPAA. I said, it's a violation. Don't tell it. She didn't tell it, y'all, but she definitely looked like she was about to tell it. But yeah, she was just talking about how she wondered, why he in such a hurry. They showed Derek, he's thinking about, Ashley and Andre conversation that he overheard. Eva ends up telling Leslie how she doesn't want to mess up the bond that she's creating with Ted. Leslie's still at it. She said that Ted is hers. It's only a matter of time. Andre ends up opening up about his parents. Excuse me. I don't know. How did he end up on the floor? Was he trying to stand and he fell, or what? Derek, was he trying to stand and he fell? But either way it go, Jan had knocked on the door and stuff like that. He was like, get him a second. He got in that chair so doggone fast. He got in that chair so doggone fast. Then he was talking about something. He want to tell her something, but he just said that, he's grateful that she's including him as part of the family. And I said, Jan, don't you come over here. These two should not be together. You don't come over here telling him this foolishness again. But yeah, what else? She ends up offering him an ear, and that's when she ends up just talking about how she glad that they back together and all this other stuff. But that's all that happened with them. Let's see. I think Shanice suggested something about Derek lying, and she's like, no, he's not lying or whatever. He's one of the last, good guys or whatever. I said, shoot. He running around telling people, threatening them and everything. Hold on. Well, yeah, and then Shanice had that look on her face. Y'all know that same look everybody look like when they guilty of something, or they keeping something, or they know something. Well, yeah, what else? Let's see. Leslie was talking to Eva about Ted, and she wants Ted to move in with her so that they could be a family, and she could give Eva the parents and the family that she never had and stuff like that. Eva just be sitting there. She was trying to talk some sense to her mama, but mama hard of hearing or something. She's just hard headed. I said, then they say, is this when they said that Shanice supposed to come in the picture? I don't know, y'all. I thought they were gonna put Shanice with Derek. I thought they was gonna put Shanice with Derek, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. I already said Andre ends up agreeing to do the photo shoot. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, Andre agrees to do the photo shoot with Danny or whatever. What else? I already said about wanting to donate the funds to charity. Nicole tells Ted to let her know if he's bringing the +1. Shanice lets Derek know. She called him and told him, if you don't come clean, you'll regret it. By that time, he was standing up and actually walked through the door. She was so happy, so excited, and saying, when did this happen and all this other stuff. And he just saying, it just happened and all this other stuff. So she sit there and she started to think. I said, oh, you in trouble now, what is she thinking? I said, you in trouble now, what is she thinking? She was just sitting there. She was like, for him to, just be standing like that and have all this strength, it hasn't been going on for a while. And he just, that smile slowly started to fade. And that's when she was like, how long has this been going on? He started doing that crying and stuff, talking about something. I wanted to tell you. I said, y'all, they tell the same lie every time. I wanted to tell you, but this and that. I thought she was going to ask if Shanice knew, or either if anybody else knew or something like that, but so far, no. But yeah, he started crying and begging her, and she seen that photo, that picture frame with the photo with her and Andre and that baby and everything. And she was like, hold on, let me find it. First, she asked him, if he's been pretending to be paralyzed to keep her from Andre and stuff like that, because she seen the photo. And he was like, he didn't deny it. If I'm not mistaken, he did not deny it. And I was like, you can't deny it. It's all over your face. It's written all over your face or whatever. But yeah, Nicole was talking to Laura about Ted dating, and she was like, she don't know why she's so bothered by it. Ted ends up thanking Eva and Leslie for forgiving him. He had showed up at Orphans, and she tried to scoot over to give him a space, and he sat beside Eva. Oh my girl. I said, you tried it. She be trying her hardest. Hold on. Laura just talked to Nicole about her and Dave not working out. I already said Danny suggests Andre start a foundation in his father's name. What else? It's something I'm missing. I know the last thing is Ashley walking out, but it was something before that. What was it, y'all? I don't know. Oh, excuse me. I'm sleepy. Okay, I think she had took out the ring or whatever. She was saying how she don't know who he is or whatever. He crying and begging her, not to give up, and he was just desperate, and he this and that. I don't think he said he was desperate, but he was desperate. I just said he was desperate. I don't think he said that. Did he say he was desperate? Either way it go, I took it as he was desperate. What time it is? Let me see. Cause sister's about to come on, y'all. I'm so late. Yeah, 7:27. But yeah, she took off the ring. She set it on there, whatever. She was like, she done, and she walked out on her. He just sitting there crying and stuff. You brought it on yourself. All y'all did. She want to fully blame him. You had no business proposing to this man. No, the doggone well, knowing doggone well you had feelings for Andre, that you wanted Andre. He's at fault, but you at fault as well. But yeah, when she left out, I was like, don't you take your tail over there interfering with Andre and then they got going on. They had a nice little moment over here. Now I think she gonna go back to Bill. I think that's just the way the show set up, but we'll see. But at the same time, it's like they finally making progress, and you want to sit up here and leave and all this other stuff. You just prove him right. You just prove him right. So I said, I love you and all this other stuff. Yeah, you do love him. That's clear that you do love him. But you ain't in love. Well, I ain't gonna say it. I don't know if she in love with him or not. I know she curious about Andre. I don't know if that curiosity is gonna be enough to, satisfy the fact that she just ended things with Derek. Well, not just. They been ended things, but they just got back together or whatever. And at this point, I'm just rambling, y'all. That's just rambling, but that's it. That's all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the